Good evening, everyone. Good evening. My name is 𝗹𝗶𝗱𝗁 from 𝗃𝗵𝗲 again. Yes, this is today is actually what I call as Truth Tuesdays. Okay, now if you follow my channel and all that, I always name my days based on certain themes, and today is what I call as Truth Tuesday. Now, early this morning, actually not only this early this morning, I got a few feedbacks from some of my friends who seems to be a bit surprised. Okay, now the morning one of my friends actually PM me and say, "Hey Gary, since when you start doing you start doing tax topics, or even since when you're trained in tax?" And then later in the evening, one of my close friends also called me and asked, "Hey Gary, it's surprising to see you doing a topic on tax and all that. I mean, I didn't know that you were trained in tax." Look, to be honest, and just let me clarify, I am not a tax advisor. I'm not a tax advisor, but I have spoken enough with a lot of tax advisor friends of mine, tax consultant friends of mine, and what I'm sharing with you is based on also from their experience and what I noticed and observe as an observation. So the reflection on them, the taxman itself, is actually very, very true. Is it does not necessarily just take a tax advisor to advise you about the importance of tax planning. So you see, most people think that tax is just something you pay once a year. But the real problem is this: it's not the tax, it's what you actually didn't realize that was building quietly time over time. All right. Now, as I mentioned in both my posts, okay, yes, I know it is a very daring attempt and all that, but I have seen, even when I was, be it as a lawyer or even as a business wealth strategist, I've seen how tax, especially unplanned tax problems, okay, can actually ruin one's life in terms of wealth building, and also sometimes can also affect one's health to a great extent. Like I shared, okay, earlier on, that friend of mine, Bill, called me yesterday, okay, and he was actually panicking in his voice. He said this. He said, Gary, I don't know how to say this. I received a letter from LHDN, and they wanted to audit my last 5 years. Do you know of anyone who can help me?" So as I paused, here's the thing. He told me that there's no fraud element of fraud involved, no intentional evasion, just perhaps some small gaps. Well, things that he thought were too small to matter. Freelance income that he didn't declare, expenses mixed between personal and business, a filing that he even delayed because life just got too busy for him. Because he said at one point his consultation business was getting really up in demand and all that. And yet, individually, they look small. They really look small. But when everything is reviewed, okay, all at once, that's when it compounds. Not the interest, but penalties. Penalties from all this inaccurate tax filing and inaccurate tax declaration. Let that sit in for a moment for yourself. That's when I realized something. It's not random. There's a structure behind how people get into trouble, and this is one of the examples. Okay, so there are three things most professionals or even entrepreneurs or even business owners never really connect. First thing first, income. Today, income doesn't come in from just one place. It can be from salary, side income, rental, or even online platforms. Multiple ways, okay? Different streams. But for LHDN, okay, or IRB, they only see one thing: total income versus what you declared. That's how they project it. And that's where questions begin. Second, timing. Late filing, or even missed year, or keep telling yourself, "I'll sort it out later." You see, one gap doesn't stay as one gap, it becomes a pattern. And patterns trigger scrutiny. And finally, the third one, separation. Segregation between personal versus business, cash versus recorded. When this blur, your numbers stop telling a very clear story. And when your story isn't clear or doesn't add up, someone else, LHDN, will interpret it for you. And most of the time, when they interpret it for you, most likely it's not going to be in your favor. You see, my friend Bill didn't cheat intentionally. He just didn't have a proper structure. And that's what most people miss. Because tax isn't just about paying what you owe, like I said earlier on. It's about making sure what you show to LHDN or IRB actually makes sense. So this is the part nobody thinks about until LHDN is already thinking about it for them. So let me ask you this. If someone else, which is LHDN or IRB, looked at your last 3 to 5 years today, would your numbers tell a very, very clear story? Or would they need an interpretation from IRB or LHDN? Think about it. If this made you pause, drop me a message, personal message, and comment audit. I will look into your situation together with you quietly, and we'll discuss. If you need help in connecting with any tax advisors and all that, I can recommend one that I trust to you. Because most people don't just need more income. They need clarity on what they've already built. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is 𝗧𝗵𝗱𝗧𝘅𝗺, leaving you with this for tonight for your reflection. Okay, I hope this awakens you a bit. And if you really need help on this, reach out to me personally. All right. And tomorrow night, I'll also be conducting what I call as the 𝗲𝗵𝗱𝗧𝘅𝗺 preview. Okay. So if you want to have an honest conversation about this, feel free to reach out to me via my preview tomorrow night. Thank you very much. Until then, I bid you a very, very pleasant evening. Have a great night. Thank you. Thank you.